Hi, I'm Jeff Phobes, publisher of Mountain Xpress newspaper and online as mountainx.com. We've been publishing as a weekly since 1994 and switched and added online in 95. And let's see, 1 minute, you want 1 minute. The purpose of the paper is to promote active, thoughtful citizenry. And when we do that, what that means is that we can deliver active, thoughtful, the area's most active, thoughtful readers, which is useful to advertisers because you're reaching the people who are actors as opposed to viewers. They want to get in the game. And we also promote the Asheville culture, which is a very much grassrootsy, do-it-yourself culture, as is quite evident by you all facing me. So we're reporting on that and at the same time promoting it and delivering, I think, the great readership that is interested in knowing what you're doing.
I'm Joe Jacobilski. My wife and I published the Hometown Value Guide magazine. I arrived a little bit late today, so I apologize. The samples are on the back table. I didn't get to pass any around. The magazine's been delivered continuously via direct mail for 8 years now. We just started our 8th season. And we still have some of the same customers that we mailed in our first magazine. So that'll give you an idea of what, in terms of being able to help a local business with a good return on investment via traditional media like direct mail. It's withstanding the shift in business to the internet for a variety of reasons, mostly because it's still being it's guaranteeing that delivery to the home. And it allows us to use a colorful format, mix a lot of different things that are useful for anybody who may receive this at home. And it's an easy format for folks to open up, take a look at, whether they tear out a coupon and activate and come in and trade. Like I brought a couple of samples. Most people don't know what a couple of hundred responses will look like when it comes to the amount of new customers. You consider that new customers, or even if half of those are new customers walking through the door, how that can impact a small local business in a positive way. That's what we try to do it in a real nice format and at a low cost.
Hi everybody, my name is Bob Pearlstein, and I tried to retire, and it didn't work out. My wife and I moved here about 9 years ago from Atlanta, Georgia, and I retired for 2 hours and 36 minutes. I can tell you, thank you, I can tell you that my wife, who, for those people who know her, a New Zealander, very low-key, really a nice gal, the smart one of the family, looked at me and said, Bob, this is not working out. We have 30 years invested in the marriage, please go out and do something. So, I'll start with you. My name is Bob Pearlstein. I have 3 companies. One company is called the DM Shop. I have the good fortune of working with businesses in town where I do their consulting for media and marketing. And basically my job is to spend their money, to decide what media and marketing programs would best fit them. My second responsibility is I'm in 20 hotels now, soon to be 24, with the Tour Video Network, which is an in-room tourist program. They have Bellamy's on it at the beginning. It's a documentary about Asheville, and some of the best advertisers are advertising on it who want to reach the tens of thousands of people who are here. And my latest venture is You Get We Give, which is a model of living social in Groupon, except we are truly the only local company where money stays in Asheville and doesn't get filtered out to other corporate places across the country, and we give back to charity when and every time somebody buys a deal. I'm going to try retiring again next year. We'll see what my wife's attitude is. Bob Pearlstein, thank you.
Oh, okay. So use this one.
Hello again, Sandy Tomlin-Tucker. I've been the publisher and editor of WNC Woman magazine since 2002. That's when we started. the vision of the magazine has always been to build community and to connect, particularly women. It's not just a women's magazine. We have a lot of men who admit that they read it, and we also do a men's issue once a year, every June, that's all about men, and we allow men to write for that issue. But it's really about connecting and building community. So if you're interested in that, both in terms of writing, I'm always looking for good writers, looking for good, interesting profiles, and of course for advertisers.
Hi, my name is Pete Blackshaw, and I'm the owner of 95.7 The Choice FM right here in town. Took over the radio station this past March and rearranged the format of the station significantly. We are a local FM station, and we focus everything that we can about local issues, local programming. We've developed a couple of different shows. Of course, we have Jeff and Leslie's show, Positive Business, that airs on Saturday mornings. Feature a lot of local business people. We'd love to feature entrepreneurs. So if you've got that business that you started in your garage or your basement, and you've got a success story, we'd love to interview folks like that. Just had a recently great interview with Winston Pulliam. Everybody knows Winston Pulliam in town, and he told his stories about starting pumping gas in the 50s at $3.50 a week, and built that into a real estate empire. So really interesting content. We also do a outdoor hunting and fishing show and outdoor recreation show on Tuesdays. That's hosted by Brent DeSosa, who is the chaplain at the Asheville Tourists. And we also have an urban show on Wednesday, so we're constantly developing programs, but everything is about local, local issues, local music. We play a lot of local bands and local artists. So it's all about Asheville, Western North Carolina. But we also broadcast on the web at 957thechoice.com.
Test, test. Okay. That sound better? You got a little feedback there. Now hear us okay in the back of the room, George? Good deal. Okay. And I'm be moderating today. Most of you know me. My name is Troy Harden. I own RelyLocal Asheville. I do social media management, marketing, events like this, etc. Which we're all glad to have you at. And I want to take just a minute real quick. I've actually already pulled the winners for the door prizes, so now that I have everyone's attention and you're looking up here, I'm going to announce them real quick. We've got, let's see, Sherry Wagner. Yeah. You've won a VIP pass to the Asheville Zipline Canopy Adventures. Now, Lori, could you tell us real quick about the new, what do you call it? Feature to Treetops, because that's going to be the tell us about that real quick.
Treetop Adventure is 46 different challenges up in the trees. Just think about getting from one tree to another tree and all the different ways you can do it. And it'll have 4 different levels from beginner to, oh my gosh, is what I call it. And it's in Asheville. It'll be open year round, and it's adjacent to the zip line, which is adjacent to Crown Plaza.
Sherry?
Yes, thank you. Antlers in the tree.
Okay, and then Dana? Dana, how do you say your last name?
Richard.
You actually won something. I know you give a prize, you won something. You actually have won the Treetops Adventure Pass.
Oh.
So. You got to take the perk off there.
Oh my goodness.
All right, the next winner, let's see. Susan, you have won 2 free general admission tickets to the Longman Fest. Could you tell us about the Longman Fest again real quick? Dan?
Oh, sorry. Just go in the middle. Okay, Longman Festival is happening October 13th at the Asheville Outdoor Center. And I'll tell you what I've done with them is I'm working to try to green the event and to promote it. For the tickets. I'm working with the Western North Carolina Alliance, and they're going to be having information and speakers out there where we're talking about the Beyond Coal campaign, about the river and riverkeeper efforts to clean up E. coli and coal ash and So we will be doing different exciting, things on the river along with that. We have river rafting tours. There's 10 musicians on 2 stages. We have some money going to Arts to People to help them. And we also are working with local food trucks, local businesses, local artists. It should be really fun. I'm really excited about it. We're trying to recycle everything and make it paperless. So if you're interested in tickets, we have a deal going on right now on AshevilleDeal.com with some of the local radio stations. So please either get with me if you'd like to be added, to will call, or if you're a press and you'd like to write about it. I would really love to connect you with UNCA students at Ash that are going to be doing a visual display or talk about solar powering the Hops Ice Cream Kids Zone. Okay, thank you.
Awesome, thank you very much.
She's excited.
Well, it should be.
Yes.
The next gift is a 1-hour free cleaning from Around Your Home by Melissa Rowley, and the winner is, am I pronouncing this, Prajna? Prajna, congratulations. Do you just want to say a quick 30-second commercial?
Well, I didn't say that. Iron Your Home does have an internal cleaning company, deep cleaning. I don't like it to look clean. I like it to actually be clean. It's part of the intimacy of what I do as a project manager, and everybody else I organize. So we do office for me. It's great. Yay.
Okay, real quickly, next. Let's see, Bob. You won 2 more free general admission tickets to the Longman Fest.
Oh, good.
And Susan's not going to be able to make it that day. She's got another engagement, so we're going to draw one more name real quick for those Longman tickets. And the winner is Debbie Schultz. You got him? Good deal. Okay. All right, and then I've got a really cool combination here. This is a zipline canopy tour and rafting pass. Thank you, Lori. And Melissa. It's fun to give stuff away. Okay, next we have a complimentary therapeutic salt cave session. It's Sola, am I pronouncing that right? Soleil, thank you. It's Soleil Salt Cave, and the winner is Tony Fair. I don't know if y'all saw on Facebook, they had a picture of a baby sleeping in the salt cave last week, and I want to send my kid for a week. So congrats to all the prize winners. All right. And we're going to get started with our panel discussion on locally owned traditional media options. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to ask a series of 5 questions. And we're going to allow each of the panelists to answer, take a turn down the row. So afterwards, as time permits, we can have a little bit of question and answer from the group. So if you have some questions, please hold on to those until the end. So we'll just start off, and Peter, we'll just start with you and go down if that's okay. First, then we'll reverse going forward. So my first question is, how do I, as a business owner, really know what advertising and marketing choices are right for me? That would be the question we're going to start with.
Probably the most significant thing that we can do is to really, really know your customer. Story comes to mind a few years back. I was working in an industrial environment, and one of the most successful marketing campaigns was done by the DeWalt Tool Company. Very, very competitive business. Everybody makes power tools. And they came up, they had a brilliant marketing director, and he came up with one single statement, and that statement was, we're going to reach them where they work, and we're going to reach them where they play. And they studied all their customers to find out that the vast majority of their customer base were NASCAR fans when they were not in the workplace. So of course they had the traditional ways of reaching their customer in the workplace, but then they embarked on a huge campaign in NASCAR to reinforce their message when their customer was sort of in their downtime, in their playtime. And they launched themselves well beyond their competitors because it's a very, very competitive market. Milwaukee's another tool brand that was sort of asleep at the wheel, and they just stuck with their traditional way of reaching their customers in the business place. And DeWalt's, that story in the industrial marketing world is repeated over and over and over again. So I think studying your customer, knowing their habits, and then having multiple touch points where you reach them, so that you reach them not just in, say, a traditional channel, however you reach your customers today, but then also reaching them in their downtimes, their off times, so that your message is repeated in multiple areas. So that could be print, it could be online, it could be, just there's a gamut of places that you can reach. But I say really know your customers and know their habits, not just from the business standpoint, but also from what they do on weekends, what they do at evenings and so forth. And we've lost our host.
Same question all the way down.
Repeat the question.
I'm constantly lost in
Repeat
space.
the question.
Once again, the question is, how do I, as a business owner, know what advertising and marketing choices are right for me? Move the slide over.
So I would say ditto. I think the one thing I would add would be to know the venue that you're choosing, this magazine or direct mail or whatever, who their readership is. Learn that. If it's a radio station, who are the listeners. And that would be one of the things I would add to that. Is if you, first of all, you do have to know your business and know who your customer is. First, you have to know what you do, who your customer is, and then when you look around, and you really do need to have a broad range of things and have a budget for that.
So since I've been 45 years in corporate marketing and small business marketing, and more recently, the answer to the question for me is marketing and advertising and promotion is like clothing. It either fits or it doesn't fit. You buy the right size, which means there's a couple of things that come into play. Be realistic with yourself and say, how much money do I really have to spend? It doesn't have to be a lot, but it has to be used smartly. Number two, the whole meaning of advertising and success of advertising and marketing is predicated on frequency. What can I afford to frequently do? So I give it a chance to work. And three, make sure you don't get committed to something that's going the wrong way. So as a small business person, you will see signs immediately. I am not a big believer in contracts. I believe that things work when they're right, and if it's not, you either need to stop, readjust, or change.
Those are all really good examples of how local businesses will know. The fit, obviously, for me, it making sure that we are, that your ad is going to be seen or heard by likely potential customers. It seems pretty obvious, right? But sometimes, more times than I'd like, I've walked in and dealt with the owner of a business who's really just bought something that they like as a consumer, but it really wasn't a great fit for reaching the targets that are right before them. So knowing that and making the leap to make sure you're getting it in their hands or getting it in their ear or getting it in front of them for them to see. It's got to be seen. If your ad's not seen, it's worthless.
Okay, the first thing I do is start networking, which is exactly what you're doing right now. Yeah, so you try and figure, if I'm a business owner, I was trying to think, how do I figure out what I should do to advertise? I would start networking, I would start reading to get, so I would learn my community and I'd learn philosophies of how do I market myself. I'd consider getting a professional marketing help, which there's several people here that are experts at that. I would then be sure I know my product. What's my core product? What am I really excelling at? Why am I bothering to do it? What's my passion about it? Then I need to have a plan, even though it will probably change as time goes on, but at least start out with a plan. Make sure you have a brand. You want to make sure that there's something memorable about your product or your service. that people can get in their mind. It says, oh yeah, I saw that ad and that image stuck, or however you're doing that. Then I would study my options, which means contacting all the ways of getting the word out. So I would be contacting lots of media outlets to figure out, what have you got? And I would kind of grill them a bit. I would want to know what's your demographics and what's your reach and what works, what advertising works for you. Kind of ask them, put them on the spot. And what doesn't work. That's always a good question, is you want the negative. They'll be happy to give you the positive. And let's see, then you develop your plan really out of all that, and then go back and mix it again. Go back and start networking and thinking and getting your philosophy and re-ask yourself, do I really want to do this? What's my passion? What's my core product? And then from there, I would start to work on social media, my advertising plan, and then the freebies that I can get, which is, can I make some kind of news announcement? And there's something newsworthy here, because there's nothing like getting some free news coverage. And then collaborations with other businesses and other nonprofits. That helps boost a sense of goodwill, and people will value your service as a part of the community. And last, sponsorships, and they want to sponsor some other events that get your name out there. And I guess lastly, the thing you hear is that the dollars stay here rather than being pushed out to stockholders or someone outside of the state. What does Mountain Xpress do to give back to the community? The first thing we do is that Mountain Xpress was not started as a money-making operation. It was the only goal, and it still is the goal, is to break even. It's a service to the community. We asked ourselves the question, how wonderful a community could we have if we promoted local civic dialogue and got people to actually to think, to argue, to debate what makes a difference in our community. That's why we report only on local issues. We're not interested in national issues or world issues, unless you might say it's an environmental issue and it has global impacts. We're always going to look for the local connection. So the first thing, that's the way we do our business, is as a service to the community. Secondly, we sponsor lots of events and reduce the ad costs. Some cases we do in the sponsorship, we may be able to do it for trade. We have nonprofit rates. And lastly, we collaborate with other groups. So currently we're collaborating with ASAP, the Appalachian Sustainable Agriculture Project, trying to promote the use of buying local foods, promote local farmers. We collaborate with Mountain BizWorks with a page, because we sense that Mountain BizWorks is a cauldron that's bubbling out local entrepreneurs, and that makes Asheville a more interesting and vibrant community. So that's a reason for us to collaborate with them. And our most recent collaboration is with Asheville Grown. We'll be helping produce or publishing the first printed directory of the Go Local Network. You may be familiar with it. Last year was its first. Love Asheville, get a Go Local card. I think it cost $15, and 2/3 of that went to a nonprofit, the Asheville City Schools Foundation. So it's a really great project that is not trying to make money. It's actually trying to funnel money into the community. We said, well, there's no printed directory for those local businesses, so let us help produce that. We'll be publishing that in December.
We're going to take a few minutes now. And if anybody needs to leave, by the way, please feel free. You don't have to stay. But we're going to take a few minutes now and just do some question and answer. So if anybody has Mandy, if you'd like to start.
Yeah, I have a question for Sandy.
Mandy does not need a microphone.
I don't need a microphone, darling. Whenever I open up your magazine, the ads are consistently beautiful. And I've been reading it for 3.5 years now, maybe 4 years. They're consistently pretty and good looking. And whenever, in the past, we've done, print advertising, and when you get help from the publication, no publications here, by the way, but, they come back to you with this kind of like ugly, blocky ad. I'm sorry. So, whenever I look at your magazine, though, it's just consistently good looking. Can you tell us a bit about how you accomplish that and how you help us accomplish a really pretty ad?
I left a sheet on everybody's table placement, 13 tips to make the most of your advertising dollars, and it has some suggestions about what makes a good ad. And we really go, this is our Bible in a way, about headlines, white space, color, logos, photos, images, any of those things, bullet points. So we make a fair number of ads in the magazine, but even when someone sends us an ad they've made, we talk to them about it if we think it's not going to be good for them, because if they're not successful, we aren't.
Right.
Does that answer?
Yeah, it does. It's just amazing what you accomplish. I just think
Well,
it's really great.
Thank you.
In the back of the room? Celia, did you have a question? Oh, okay. Linda, did you have a question?
I want to say something.
Not all tied up here.
You want me to
Are we all, yeah, just come up and ask. We're recording, so I'll make sure we get all the questions.
Sandy, I wanted to address the issue of clarity in the ads and not putting a lot of text, leaving white space, taglines. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, a lot of that's on the sheet, so you can have that to take with you. I think the thing that I see that's a detrimental thing in an ad the most is people who want to put everything in the ad. Everything that they do, everything they've ever done or could do, and it's just, it's a very counterproductive thing. So we really advise people to, if you have several kinds of activities in your business, advertise different ones each month. Don't try to get everything in there all at once. Less is more. And, you can really use bullet points, you've got to have a headline. You get, I don't know, what's the average, 3 seconds to get somebody's attention in a print ad, something like that, and they're going to sweep through. I will give myself a plug and say that we try to always have some content. We don't try, we do have content on every page, so that people are reading every page when they see an ad. They're not just browsing. So.
Any other questions for the panelists? Anybody else? They've done an awesome job then if there's no questions. So just to finish up, I'm going to get each of the panelists, if you just want to give a parting shot real quick, just something you'd like to tell the group, we'll do that. And then afterwards, if everybody could hand in your form right by the door as you're leaving, there's a space to put that. We appreciate your feedback. And don't forget to stay tuned to all of our social media channels for where the next location is going to be as well. So if you guys just want to take a quick shot, say something in parting, please do.
Main thing I would say, the WNC Woman has been in a growth and evolutionary process for the last 2 years. And I really appreciate the community for supporting that, and really would like more feedback constantly, and suggestions for articles and other kind of content that you'd like to see.
Okay, so there's no one medium or media that's right for you. It's learning how and what to use when. It is really important. Everything has a purpose. Make that purpose work for your business. There's a variety of stuff you can do, and one thing great about Asheville, the amount of people here, the amount of media and marketing opportunities are incredible, proportionate to other cities. So use it wisely.
Thanks. The Hometown Value Guide is really pleased to be a part of this, our market, and being asked to join today. So thanks for coming. Getting your business in front of likely buyers is really, a critical element in all of this. And when we're putting together our program, that's the crux of it: getting it viewed, getting your ad seen, putting it in front of folks that are in the neighborhood who are likely to shop from you, buy from you, call and make a service call. So I'd appreciate an opportunity to show you how if you have a need or know of anyone like that.
I guess the thought I would like to leave you with is if you've got advertising questions, to give us a call. The ad reps know their business. They're very kind. They're not going to try and suck money out of you. but they can give you some ideas, and you're welcome to go on to someone else. And then we also have a great design team that will help you build an ad that works for you.
Thank you. We get a round of applause for our panelists. Thank you very much. And thank you all for coming. We appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you next month, wherever we're at.